an open space where it's just kicking up a lot of dust. There you can see how high that dust got lofted. We've got more thunderstorms into parts of the southern plains in the short term. A likely area of storm development would be along our warm front, very similar to where we watched storms yesterday. San Angelo, San Antonio, to the west of Corpus Christi. So along the U.S.-Mexico border and points to the north and east. Several severe thunderstorm warnings already out there. This one right along the border. We've got Brewster County. This is an observed severe thunderstorm warning, so that means observations of wind or hail have come in. In this case, it's likely hail that we're seeing. Considerable threat on this one for Jeff Davis, Pecos, and Reeves County. So this severe thunderstorm warning until 5:15 local time. Considerable threat would indicate some large hailstones, and that's exactly what we're seeing out of this. So once you go to a considerable threat, 70-mile-an-hour winds or ping-pong to egg-sized hail. So that's what we've got out of this storm moving through places eventually south of Pecos. You can see it's kind of starting to take a little bit of a right-hand turn. So we've got areas there south of Pecos, south of I-10 under warnings. North, much less in the way of activity. But watching the evening, we've got more thunderstorms firing for areas west and south of San Angelo, Del Rio, you get in on the action. Those storms are going to work their way closer and closer to the I-35 corridor. Now, I do think they lose some of their punch as they get towards Austin and San Antonio tomorrow for the very early morning hours, but still, you could get in on some active thunderstorms. Waco could be a spot that also sees some thunderstorms to start the day tomorrow. Hail into tonight, 2 inches or greater in diameter, very much in line with where we're seeing that large hail right now. Chance of hail anywhere you see the purple outlined area. So there's going to be a lot of hailers like there have been the past few days. Chance of a tornado as well. Now tomorrow we've got areas into Texas under that possible threat of severe weather. Also parts of the southeast. So with that moisture still around, with showers and thunderstorms still developing, we could see an isolated severe threat. But those 2 smaller areas in bright red, those would be our better chance zones of seeing a little bit more in the way of scattered severe weather. I still don't think we're looking at any kind of, widespread or tons of severe weather, but opportunities for a lot of the south into the day Wednesday. Mike?
All right, so let's talk a little bit more about that.
And we take you to one of the areas that is stuck in that pattern, Nashville, Tennessee, with the rounds of thunderstorms. Your virtual view is going to look like this a lot, right? Dark skies, wind-blown rain, lightning. Not a great week to be out and about in the Music City. Nashville, it's been a tough month at times. We started off the month of May with some big rainfall over the weekend, of course, right? It's always on a Saturday that you get nearly an inch of rain. Half inch about 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago. And then even over our Memorial Day weekend, we had over 1¼ inches one day, over a ½ inch on Memorial Day. So we've had quite a bit of wet weather here across the region. Nashville, 8.06 inches in total for the month of May. That makes it your wettest May since 2010. So in over a decade, really a decade and a half, 16.43 inches, by the way, what you saw in 2010. Average May rain would be somewhere around 5 inches. So we've almost, we've 1.5 to we're 150+% above your average. Rain since May 1st, there are a lot of areas in the south that are above average with the rainfall. We've got 8 to 12 inch amounts in red, 12 to 18 inch amounts in pink. So parts of Georgia and Alabama and Mississippi, Oklahoma and Arkansas, eastern sections of Tennessee have been especially wet. And we saw that reflected on our map, or on our calendar rather, with many days during the month of May, not just bringing rain, but bringing some hefty rainfall totals. Chattanooga, you're number 3 for month to date precip. So wettest May on record for Memphis, for Jackson as well, nearly 9 inches in Memphis, almost 11 inches. You're about 10 3/4 in Jackson. Montgomery running number 6. Number 1 in Gulfport, number 4 in Columbia, South Carolina. So for a lot of areas, at least in the top 5 for wettest months of May. Jackson, your May 2025 rainfall, again, 10 3/4 inches. The May rainfall record, 12.23 inches back in 1909. So average May rain would come in around 4 1/3 inches. Friday, more opportunities for rain. So even into the last few days of May, Mike, we're going to try to get some more rain in there.
We're going to squeeze out every last bit.
Almost guaranteed. Well, rest of the week, we've got a lot of folks traveling. We've got a lot of activities, graduation parties, you name it, and we've got places to go. Now, airports could be delayed. Right now, we're dealing with a ground stop at Denver's airport. We've also got issues at Orlando. ATL at least running some minor delays. The areas in yellow, that's at least a low to medium end delay. But when you get one in Atlanta, you're going to have problems down the line. DCA also under a ground stop. So Reagan National, ground stop. Things are still going okay at Dulles and at BWI. Other Northeast airports doing fine. Obviously, the rain really focused into the Mid-Atlantic today. Now, tomorrow, we've got more rain into not just the Mid-Atlantic, but sections of the Northeast, including the New York City metro. So I do think our New York City airports, Philadelphia, also our, Baltimore, Washington area airports will see delays. Buffalo and Pittsburgh could also be areas that are slowed down. Not expecting, huge turmoil at the airports, but I do think delays will go up on the board, or you'll be getting that text that says, hey, your flight that was supposed to take off at, 1:30 is now scheduled for 2 o'clock. Again, don't think huge delays, but I think there will be some. Tomorrow, we've got a wet rush hour in Philadelphia. So the Schuylkill, the Blue Route, they're going to be slowed down as we make our way up to New York City. Lighter rain there, some delays possible, again, both on the roads and at the airports. Otherwise, expect skies to stay overcast, so you're not going to have a lot of sun glare issues while you're driving. Thursday, better at the airports, especially Mid-Atlantic, Philly. I think there could still be a few minor, really low-end delays at our New York City area airports, but now on Thursday, we shift our attention to New England. So Boston and Portland, Maine, with the more likely delays on Thursday. Friday, we're back to 77 with cloudy skies sticking with us. You notice New York City, we're not going to see a ton of sunshine through the week. Saturday may see some breaks in the sky, may see some sunshine, but also may see some thunderstorms. Temps back to the upper 60s, Mike.
All right, Alex, thank you for that. All right, the road.
A lot of you have noticed it's a really cool, raw day out there today. And the reason? Cold air damming. A setup like this occurs when we've got high pressure settled over the Northeast. Well, air moves clockwise around areas of high pressure, so you get that cold air pushing farther to the south. And when we bring up the table and show you what happens then at the surface level, you get that cold air pushing southward, but it's not able to lift up over the Appalachians. It gets dammed up against the eastern side of the Appalachians. That's because cold air is dense. It stays closer to the ground. We think of a warm air, hot air balloons. We think of warm air rises. That hot air balloon have no trouble getting over the Appalachian Mountains. Meanwhile, the cold air, because it's so dense, it stays so close to the ground, it's not moving. It's not budging, and a lot of us are dealing with a below average day. Places like Blacksburg, for example.
Yeah, Blacksburg, let's do rain.
All right, well, switching gears, a 1-year-old boy has died after he was unknowingly left in a truck with the windows up over the weekend in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Temperatures on Sunday were in the upper 80s, and this is now the 4th child of the year to die after being left in a vehicle. Of course, we always remind you the words to remember: look before you lock. No shame in leaving something in the back seat, a phone, the keys to your pass to get in your office building, so that children are not left in vehicles. This is that time of year, too, when school ends, and so routines change. And so do whatever you can, or do whatever you need to do to remember those now changed routines. Unfortunately, we oftentimes are talking about hot car deaths, and it doesn't even have to be a super hot day to get a hot death. The lowest outside temperature this year was a 68-degree day, but just goes to show you that inside those vehicles, those temps can rise so quickly. Highest outside temp, 99. As you can imagine, that's bad enough on its own. And then after a few seconds in a car, or a few minutes in a car, you're going to see some huge changes in the status of the temperature and just how high it gets. Take, for example, Albuquerque, New Mexico tomorrow, high of 86, but after just 10 minutes in the vehicle, about 20 degrees hotter, 105, 120 degrees after 30 minutes. So that's why we also say, if you're running errands, never leave children or pets in the car, even for just Atlantic, southern parts of the Northeast. So remember, you could see some delays on the roads tomorrow, including I-64 there through Charlottesville and at the area airports. Right now, you're between areas of rain. You've got more into eastern West Virginia, parts of western Virginia, closer to the I-81 corridor. That's headed your way in Charlottesville. Richmond, light rain. Baltimore at 63 with light rain. Pittsburgh, 55 with rain showers right now. So it's the kind of rain that's just going to slow down interstate travel. I don't think it's a widespread delay thing at the airports, but we've seen at least some minor end delays into places like Reagan National, for example. Through this evening and overnight, we've got the rain continuing across parts of the mid-Atlantic, lifting tomorrow later day through Philly and especially New York City. Philly, I think you'll see more rain chances tomorrow than New York, but the later in the day we get, the better your chances get in New York City. Then into New England for the day Thursday. By Friday, a little bit of a break before we reload with more rain into Friday night and the start of the weekend. So Saturday lunchtime, you can see a lot of scattered showers out there across our northeastern states with steadier rain likely into parts of New England. It'll be another weekend with another opportunity for rain. That has been the way the cookie crumbled for the Northeast so far, really this spring into early part of summer here. If we, I guess we start summer officially meteorologically on June 1st. Rainfall to come 1 to 2 inches for areas in southern New York, a lot of eastern PA, and then down through the mid-Atlantic states. There are areas, though, that are going to pick up 2 to 3 additional rain or additional inches of rain between now and Saturday. So the soggy trend, it continues. This is the rain just since the start of May 1st. Look at how many areas in the Northeast in the orange. That's 5 to 8 inches, 8 to 12 inches in red. And now we're going to add another 1 to 3 inches into the mix. Boston, it's been a tale of rainy weekends. This one looks to be another.